So what I want us to do first is I want us to take a look at this problem. And we're going to change the 3y right here to an 8. And we're going to change this 7 to a 4. Because I don't like the problem the way it is. So we're changing it. Because we can, because we're awesome. Okay. So when we do substitution, we look for the variable that's by itself. And the variable you choose for the first substitution must have a coefficient of 1. Who remembers what the word coefficient is? What is a coefficient? Stop just guessing and think. No. What is a coefficient? Coefficient is the number in front of a variable.
That's right. See?
So what's the coefficient of y right here? What's the coefficient of x?
1.
So that's the one we're going to use. What's the coefficient of x right here?
2.
What's the coefficient of y?
6.
So we're not going to do those. Can somebody let Miss Brister in, please? Thank you. So we don't have a variable by itself yet, and that's usually what we look for when we're using substitution. But we can solve this first one, and do you guys think we should solve for x or for y? For x. Because we look for the one that has the coefficient of 1. Does everybody see what it says? The coefficient of 1. That's what we look for. The coefficient of 1. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this x plus 8y equals 4. We're going to write it right here. And again, we're solving for x. Who can tell me how we solve for x? Damien? Tell me, Damien. But I want you to tell me exactly what to do. I'm sorry? So how would we get rid of this 8y? So why would we subtract it? Eric.
It's the opposite.
Of? So you subtract 8y. Very good. Take a point. Now, can we combine that 4 and the 8y? They're not the like terms. So we write x equals negative 8y plus 4. Yes.
I got a question.
I figured that's why you said my name and raised your hand.
Okay. Why don't you just leave the 4 right there and put 8?
Minus 8y?
4 plus 8, negative 8y.
Well, because a positive and a negative make a minus. So we would want to write minus. And I just like to write my variables first. Just habit. Because when we solve for y and we're putting it in slope-intercept form, we write that x first. So it's just easier to write the y first. You can do it either way.
So either way.
Either way. Now, do you guys remember when we did this, we put a box around what our variable equaled, and then we drew a line to where we were going to plug it in. We did this together last year. Do you remember this?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you at least remember drawing an arrow to something at some point during the year? That's what I'm talking about. Now, what we're going to do, this worksheet works from left to right. Okay? So, we're going to work across the paper. Now, what does x equal? Negative 8y plus 4. So what are we going to plug in for x?
Negative 8y.
Negative 8y plus.
Yes. Alright, so remember, it was 2x plus 6y equals 6. And we solved for x. So we're going to take what x equals and we're going to plug it in right here. And we just said that x equals negative 8y plus 4. Yes. Are you sure? Okay, how do we get rid of parentheses?
You got
Redistribute. Okay?
2 times negative 8 times 4.
Negative 16.
Alright, what's 2 times negative 8y?
Negative 16.
Negative 16y.
Alright, what's 2 times 4?
8.
6y.
Oh, this is going to be an ugly problem. We do. So what's negative 16y plus 6y? No. Negativo. Well, negative 10y, take a point. Plus 8 equals 6.
Minus 8. Minus 8.
We subtract 8 from both sides.
I know, bro.
Wait, just breathe for just a second. Okay, breathe. So you get negative 10y equals 6 minus 8 is negative 2. So, no, negative 2 divided by negative 10 is not 5. I have 2 people, I have 2 cheeseburgers and 10 people. That's not going to be 5.
What are you saying?
Y'all. No, listen. It's negative 2 divided by negative 10. Is the bigger number on top or on bottom? That means it's going to be a fraction,
0.2.
which is also 1/5. Because 1 divided by 5 is 0.2.
What she just said. Parent, be quiet.
Does everybody understand? We did negative 2 divided by negative 10, and that gave us 1/5. Remember, we're not afraid of fractions. And we know how to divide. And if it's a small number divided by a big number, that's not going to be a whole number. It's 2 cheeseburgers and 10 people. Not everybody going to eat.
I'm sorry, I thought
It's cool.
Okay.
Now, we changed our problem over here to 8 and 4. So come over here and change it to 8 and 4. Now, it's going to be gross. It's going to be a decimal, but we're fine. Now, we found y. It was x plus 8y equals 4. We found what y is. So what are we going to plug in for y? 1/5. So we're going to take this and we're going to plug it in over here. Do you guys remember us doing this last year?
No.
Now, what is 8 times 1/5? Please don't scream it out. Take a moment, put it in your calculator. Wait. Give everybody a chance. Just breathe. It's not going to kill you to hold on.
Okay. Alright.
Natalie, can you tell me?
12.
I don't think so. Do you have my calculator? May I see it? Gracias. So if you don't know how to multiply it, you do 8 times 1 divided by 5 like that. You have to put it in parentheses. And that gives us what? 1.6. So x plus 1.6 equals 4. You hit S to D on yours and it changes it to a decimal if you want a decimal. Now what do I do from here? Am I done? I have to subtract 1.6, right? So what's 4 minus 1.6?
2.4. 2.4.
So it's 2.4 and 1/5. Now, we kind of want them either to both be decimals or both be fractions. So we could write it as 2.4, 0.2.
That's it.
And we're done with that problem. Circle it, heart it, star it, baby Jesus it. Because we're not really sure what you just said.
It looks like an axe. You got it.
No, it looks maybe like a knife. Like one of the big chopping
That's
knives.
what I meant to say, yeah. Nice.
No, it looks like a glacier.
Yes, a butcher knife. Okay, here we go. Now, tell me what the first thing we did was. Raise your hand, don't scream at me. Let's walk through what we... Not you two, put your hand down.
Oh my.
Y'all been answering the whole time.
Isn't that good, Mr. Alex?
Adam Berry. There it is.
How about this, Alex?
Jadani, can you tell me what we did first, baby? Right here in this first step. We subtracted, right? Because we wanted to get x by itself. Now can you spit your gum out? Thanks, love you. So we tried to get x by itself, and we subtracted 8y. Take a point for your team. Sarah, can you tell me what we did next over here? What did we do? What did we do with our negative 8y plus 4?
We plugged it in.
We plugged it in, and we plugged it in for x, right?
Right.
Because we knew what x equaled. All right, take a point. Mackenzie, can you tell me what we did from this point? Once we plugged it in, what did we do from here to here? We multiplied it. Okay, take a point. Alexis, can you tell me what we did from this point to here?
Subtracted.
Did I?
No.
Will, can you help him?
Negative 2 divided by negative 2.
Nope, right here. Step before that. How did I get from negative 16y plus 8 plus 6y to negative 10y plus 8? What did I do? I combined like terms. Take a point for your team. All right, Jorge, what did I do from here to here? C, take a point. Danubia, what did I do from here to here? DVD what? Positivo or negativo? Yes, take a point. All right, and I got 1/5. Now, what did I do with that 1/5 diamond?
You turned it into a decimal.
And I plugged it in over here, right? So I found what y equals, and then I plugged it in. Why did I plug it in, Reggie?
But they didn't. Good.
Could I ask you to help out?
Aaron started laughing. I don't know why. I was trying to answer.
Do I look like I'm laughing?
No.
Do I look like this is funny?
No. Reason for the niggas is why. Done.
So what do I have to, what am I looking for? Once I have the y, what do I have to find?
No.
Boy, what's the other letter?
Eggs.
So once I have the y, what do I look for?
Eggs.
Okay. Because I have to have how many answers? Look at you go. Take a point. All right. Did I multiply right here to get 1.6?
Yes,
And then did I subtract?
yes, ma'am.
Did I change it so that they're both decimals?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's look at example 2. You have a question? All right. Example 2. Now remember, we look for the variable that has a coefficient of 1. So in our first one, do we have a coefficient of 1? What are both of the coefficients?
2.
In this one, do we have a coefficient of 1? For which variable?
Y.
Put a box around y. Now, Rebecca, can you tell me how I'm going to get y by itself right here?
You're gonna
Subtract 5. Yes, from both sides. Good. Take a point. Damien, am I going to combine negative 5x and negative 23? Why? Good. Take a point. So we have y equals negative 5x minus 23. Ronaldo, do I know what y is? No, do I know what y is?
Why is 11?
See, do I know what y is?
Está diciendo que si no sabes qué es Y, no sabes qué es Y.
No.
See, what does y equal? We know what y equals. Just say yes.
Tienes que decir eso.
Solamente dice.
Gracias. Eric, what does y equal? See, take a point. Now, since we know what y equals, do we plug it in back to the top equation? Yes, we do. So we're going to come over here, and what are we going to plug in for y, Natalie? Natalie, tell me. I don't care what they say, baby. I want you to tell me what we plug in. Yes, very good. Take a point. Negative 5x minus 23. Ethan, can you tell me how I get rid of that parentheses?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Divide. No.
Yes, multiply. Take a point. So we're going to distribute that negative 2. Is everybody with me before I move on? Nick, are you on the same page, or are you just in La La Land back there? Can you get it together? Can you tell me what negative 2 times negative 5 is? What is it? I'm multiplying by the first thing right here, baby. What's negative 2 times negative 5? Positive or negative? Colby, can you help us out?
Yeah.
Is it positive or negative?
It's negative though.
It's positive, because a negative times a negative is a negative times a negative is a negative times a negative is a Gracias. Now, what's negative 2 times negative 23?
Negative 46.
A negative times a negative is a positive. So as Jorge yelled at me, positive 46. Take a point, Jorge. Does everybody see how we got to this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we sure? What did we do first over here?
Found y.
We solved for y because it had a coefficient of
1.
1. So we solved for y because it had a coefficient of 1. What did we do with this y? We plugged it in. We brought it down over here, right? And then how did we get rid of parentheses?
We distributed.
Distributed, which means we... Awesome. All right, now, do we combine like terms?
Yes.
What's 2x plus 10x?
28.
Add.
12.
See, Jorge. 12x. Don't multiply there, Colby, but that's okay. That's a common mistake. 12x plus 46 equals 10. Ever, what do I do from here? Subtract what? Look at you go. Take a point. Hey, if y'all stop talking, you know what's going on. Gracias. Alright, what is 10 minus 46? And now what do I... Alexis, tell me what to do from here. Because we're waiting on you to tell us what to do from this point. Divide by what? See? Alright, what is negative 36 divided by 12, Natalie? Look at us go. Now, do we know what x is? What else do we need to find?
Why?
We need to find the y. So we're going to take this and we're going to plug it back in. We're going to plug it in right here. Is everybody ready? What does x equal?
-3.
What's 5 times negative 3?
-15.
15.
What do I do from here?
Minus one.
No.
Add 15.
Add 15. What's negative 23 plus 15?
Negative 8.
And we have to write it as a coordinate, so what do I write first?
Negativo 3 y negativo 8.
See, you take a point. Ta-da, we're done.
Not minus.
Could we try one on our own?
Oh, okay.
We're going to try one on our own. Are we ready? Do we need to go through this again step by step, or are we good?
Good.
All right, turn it over. Try number 1 without me. Natalie, can you see these, or do you want me to zoom in on this for you?
Yeah, you're right to zoom in.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize that it shrunk that so much. Sorry. Oh, that zoomed out.
That's better. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why it shrunk it so much. All right, try number 1 without me.
Número 1 son ustedes. El número 1.
Oh my gosh.